It's time for the Potawatomi Fire Coaches Corner, featuring three-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danhoff, with special guest, Fire General Manager, David Qualls. And now, here's the host of the Coaches Corner, Chris Cox.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new season of the Coaches Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox, and I'm going to be joined once again this season by now three-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danhoff. And, of course, every week we'll also have a special guest. This week's special guest is Fire General Manager David Qualls. But, Coach, starting with you, it felt like that offseason was taking forever from when you last won the championship at the end of last June to where we are now. But Fire basketball, it's officially back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know everybody said it seemed like a really long off season, maybe for most. But no, we knew all along it was right around the corner. Every time you kept looking at the calendar, you're thinking, it's still 2 months away. It's a month away, but it certainly got here fast.
I want to start by just kind of looking at the makeup of this year's team. It's a team that's going to have a lot of familiar faces, but also some new guys. And of course, when you talk about the Fire, you got to start with the captain of this team, the two-time TBL MVP, point guard Chuck Guy. He's back for year number 4 with the Fire and his 5th overall year, I guess, with you. Yeah. So I mean, it's good to have him back, and I think that was objective number 1 for you and David Qualls when y'all were building this year's team.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to bring back your MVP. You got to bring back your team captain, the guy who, finishes my sentences, knows what I want on both ends of the floor. He's your leader. He's your communicator on and off the court. So that obviously was one thing that we really wanted to get done in the off season, and we were fortunate enough to do that, and we're excited to have Chuck back.
Joining Chuck coming back this year is Ricky Artis II. He's been a mainstay with the Fire for 4 years now. He's kind of played all over the place in the off season, but you get him back, and you not only get an entertaining player in Ricky, but you also get a great player in Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, Rick's very talented. The energy that he brings night in and night out, even to practice. Even today, his first practice back with us, getting off a plane and practicing, and the energy he brought, the activity he brought to both ends of the floor, and he came out and had a really good practice. Yeah. But he's vocal, he communicates. He's also a leader in a different way than Chuck, but he's also a very strong leader for this team.
When you look at the players coming back from last year's team, you have Chuck, you have Ricky, and then you also have a pair of versatile forwards in Jay Hedgeman and Isaiah Wade. And I think sometimes those guys might get a little bit overlooked, but they are huge contributors to what this team does, and they're really those big kind of glue guys that you can do a lot with.
No, absolutely. They're so versatile, and they're very high basketball IQ. They also bring a ton of energy. They know exactly what it is that we're trying to get done, whether we're on the offensive, defensive end. They know how to execute things. They also know how to lead in their own way, and most of the time they lead by example more than anything. But yet they still can step in and help the new guys and communicate with them. This is exactly what Coach is looking for. This is what he's talking about. But by example, they do exactly what we need them to do at the highest level every day.
And then you bring back also a couple of guys from 2 years ago. They went on a bit of a walkabout in Montana last year, but Katie Moore, TJ Maston, they're back this year. And of course they know what to expect, and they know what's expected of them as members of the Fire. Yeah,
Katie's been with me 3 years, I believe, and this now be a 4th year for him. TJ, 2 years, and both completely understand the culture, completely understand the expectations and the standards of this organization and this program. So they'll be able to step in immediately and feel comfortable, and yet still have some leadership roles, especially by performance and just being an example for everybody else. But both two talented young men who obviously are big pieces to our roster this season.
Yeah, you mentioned the leadership that comes with that, and I've seen that a lot over this first week and a half of training camp. I think a lot with Katie. I think when he went to Montana, he was kind of forced into a leadership role, and he's been able to take what he learned up there kind of on the fly and bring it here.
Yeah, it was a little bit different for him going to Montana. I thought he had an amazing year. Just really exploded, especially on the offensive end, and now to come back and bring that experience with him and help fit that into the things that we do as he did before in the past. I expect a big year from KD.
When you look at some of the new names that are on this roster this year, I think you got to start with guard Willie Warren.
Yeah.
He has a very unique story when it comes to TBL. Most guys in TBL are trying to get to the NBA. For Willie, he's been there. He's played high-level basketball overseas as well, played in the G League for several years, and now he's, as an older player, coming to the Fire. What are you expecting from Willie, and what do you kind of hope that he's able to gain from this experience?
Yeah, I think for him, I hope he really enjoys the experience, has fun, the camaraderie with the guys, hopefully a successful season, to be a part of that again, because he's had a little time off from that type of environment and atmosphere. Willie is a true professional on and off the court. He's a very good basketball player, but an even better person. So I think he brings a high-level experience with him, a lot of wisdom, knowledge that he can share with all our players, especially the new guys that are just joining the team and our younger guys.
Sticking with some of the guards, you have a pair of just sharp-shooting guards that you brought in. Reigning TBL Rookie of the Year, Cam Williams, comes over to the Fire, and then Jamal McMurray, who was in TBL a couple of years ago and led the league in scoring at over 35 points per game or somewhere around 35 points per game. And they bring instant offense whenever they come into the game.
No, absolutely. They shoot the ball so extremely well. And they're not just shooters, they're scorers. They can score at different levels. They bring a lot of energy. They also defend very well, both one-on-one and guard in their box, but also as help defenders and rotating and executing our schemes. Really excited about both those guys. I love the scoring punch they bring for us, but I also love that energy, that high basketball IQ, and they have a lot of experience. Even though they're a little bit younger than some of our guys playing at different levels. I know Jamal's played, in the D League or the G League. And, Cam's played high-level basketball as well and played for some other teams that did very well. So we're happy to have both of them, and I think they're both going to have an impact on this season in a very positive way.
Rounding out the roster, you have a pair of forwards in Jeremiah Gilliam. He's a young player, but a versatile forward. Yeah. And then you also have Johnny McCants, 6'10". He's kind of your more traditional center. And both of those guys will provide a lot of depth, I think, for the Fire coming off the bench.
Yeah, Jeremiah plays extremely hard. I think the biggest thing our guys have noticed about Jeremiah, even though they've played against him when he played for other teams, is his strength.
Yeah.
He's still very skilled, but he's extremely strong. Can finish plays. It helps him on the defensive end as well. It helps him in rebounding. But he brings great energy, very humble young man, just a really hard worker. And we're excited to have him. I think he's going to have moments for us and games for us where he really has an impact as well. And then Johnny hasn't played in a couple of years due to an injury.
Okay.
But he came in early to get in shape. He really wants to be here. He really wants to be a part of this organization. He's very grateful for this opportunity, and he plays so hard.
Yeah.
And he pushes everybody. I mean, even today, diving on the floor, stretching out of bounds to try to save rebounds, sprinting the floor, defending. He's going to give us everything we need, and he's going to do it at a high level.
And then one other new piece to this roster that I think might easily kind of go overlooked is you have a new assistant coach this year. Manny Toney, who's been with you for the past 4 years. He got a job with Tecumseh Public Schools coaching there. And, it's sad to see Manny go, but we know that he's doing what's best for him and his family. But you bring in Kendrick Bryson, and Coach Bryson has a lot of TBL experience. He was a head coach for the Texas Southerners for 3 years, I believe. And now he comes up to join you as the assistant coach. What does he bring to that assistant coach role?
Yeah, I think he brings a ton to the table. I mean, the fact that he's been a head coach, he's experienced things, that I'm dealing with, but also he's experienced things that maybe I haven't seen yet in terms of being here with the Fire, and being in this league. And he can share that input, share that knowledge, that wisdom, and those experiences as a head coach and now as an assistant coach. He gives great feedback. He gives me another set of eyes and a different way of looking at things at time. And makes great suggestions. I think the one real impact right away off the bat is his player development.
Yeah.
And we bring those guys in early in pre-practice workouts and before we get going, and he's out there. He's the first one here with the players, and he's knocking out what they need to do to get better at, working on their shooting, working on moves, whatever it may be that day. But he's very knowledgeable, very experienced in the player development field.
When you take a look at the makeup of this roster and your coaching staff, it has a different feel than years past. I think that's safe to say, but it also seems to be pretty balanced and one that at least on paper looks capable of achieving big things.
I really like this roster. I really like this group of guys. I told them today that as good as we've been defensively, I feel like this team has the makeup to maybe be the best defensive team we've ever had. But of course, that's going to take a lot of work, and we have a ways to go. But if they really want to be, that team that is that efficient defensively and that strong defensively, they are very capable of doing that. I think I was excited over the scrimmage over the weekend was how well we executed offensively, and especially out of timeouts and dead balls and things like that. But and we just kept playing at a high level. We never fell off, and to me that was really really exciting and really something that I could really feed off going into this week.
Well, let's go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, Coach, we'll talk about this season and then the upcoming exhibition game against the Memphis Lions. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Brett Michaels. Live and Amplified Tour, Friday, May 29th. Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Voted one of the most electrifying and engaging shows on tour. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Brett Michaels, the party starts now.
Greetings from Vive Country, your new crazy fast neighbor, now in 16 states. We're thrilled to be your home and business internet, phone, and TV provider. From cutting-edge technology to excuse-free customer service, we're committed to our local communities. We've been working non-stop upgrading and enhancing our fiber-based network that delivers speeds up to 5 gig internet. We believe in faster speeds, community involvement, and 100% customer satisfaction. Join Vive Country today at vivebroadband.com.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox, and I'm joined by Fire head coach and 3-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danoff. Coach, 3 years, 3 championships here with the Fire. With that level of success, how do you stay motivated going into a season?
Well, they say once you win one championship, you want to win another. And I think that's kind of the case here, not only with myself, but with the players. You get a taste of it. It obviously feels good. And you want to do it again. So we've felt the other side of that. We've felt whether it be here or places these guys have been before where we just didn't quite get there, didn't go where we wanted to go and finish the way we want to finish. So we know what it feels like to not accomplish that, and we didn't like that feeling. So we always talk about that if we lose a game or even last year we lost a game. I said, this is a feeling we haven't had in a while.
Yeah.
Now we're reminded what it feels like when we don't accomplish what we set out to do, and now it's our job to avoid that feeling again. So I think that's kind of where we're at. But the biggest thing is that our expectations and our standards don't change from year to year. This is what we expect, and this is our standards that we want to live up to every day. And actually, if you can't do those things, then you probably won't be able to stay here very long. So the guys understand that. They know what's expected. They know what standards they have to live up to. And if they can do that, they have an opportunity to have a really good year.
you see in sports a lot when teams have a lot of success, it's only natural that on occasion complacency kind of can start to set in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the roster turnover that happened this year, bringing in 5-6 new guys, whatever it is, bringing a couple of guys back, kind of helps fight that complacency?
Well, the one thing I've learned about our returners is they really aren't complacent guys. It's just not something that is in their blood. They're competitive as can be.
Mm-hmm.
They hate to lose. They compete over everything, whether it's just a shooting drill or a one-on-one drill or whatever it is. They turn everything into a contest,
Mm-hmm.
and they do not want to lose that contest, and they take it personal. So when we go to fill that roster and we bring people in, we're looking for people very similar to that.
Okay.
And even if they don't understand the level that those returners are at, they find out real quick.
Yeah.
So when those veterans aren't going to be complacent in the things that they've done in the past, then it rubs right off on those new guys. You know, in the meeting we talked about it. You know, we said we can't look into the past and allow that to interfere with the present.
Mm.
And we said the same thing about looking into the future. We've always talked about being on one step. Don't be looking into the future when we still have to take care of the present, because the present is where the competition is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big conversation for us in our meetings, and we talk about it all the time. We are going to stay exactly in that present, and I think when we do that, we don't allow ourselves to be complacent.
Looking at this season, the TBL continues to grow. New teams come in every year. And it seems like more and more over the past couple of years, teams have been trying to really not only emulate what the Fire have done, but really try to kind of build their rosters and build their organizations to compete solely with the Fire.
Well, you know, I don't know if that's exactly the case. I understand what you're saying, and I know they want to be successful, and I know their goal is the same as ours every year. We want to be very consistent. We want to play to a high standard. We want to meet all expectations, and hopefully if we do those things, we can be successful enough to walk away with another championship. I think that's really their goal. But to do that, you know, there's always people that you look to and say, this is what they've done, and this is who's doing it. You know, we've got to take our program, our organization to that level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dave talks about it all the time, that, you know, he saw what Enid was doing, and he brings it home, and now how do we build on it?
Right.
I think that's what teams do. They watch us play and they see how we're doing things, and they say, okay, how can we emulate that,
mm-hmm.
and yet do it in our own way and improve upon that, you know, to be competitive like they are. So, I mean, I think that goes in all levels, college, pro, whatever it may be. You're always fighting to have the success that those upper echelon teams have.
The way TBL's built, playing the regionalized schedules, you're going to play, obviously, the Central Conference this year. Mm-hmm. And the Central Conference has historically been incredibly tough, and mm-hmm. you've had a lot of success the past 3 years against the Central Conference, but you do know that every single night you have to bring your A game, because teams like Enid, they're going to be tough. Little Rock, even though they might not always have the most talent, they always play really hard. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, this year you also have some new teams in the Dallas Stampede and the ADS Sentinels down in the San Antonio area, which are just in talent-rich areas. So it's going to be another, I think, tough season in the Central.
It's always tough. It may not seem like it from the outside looking in at times, but there's never an easy night. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody plays extremely hard. Everybody's talented. Everybody's well coached. But at the end of the day, we can't allow what it is that everyone else is doing to affect us and us sticking to who we are and what we do. Mm. You know, we're gonna do what we do at the highest level every single time. But the Central Conference is extremely strong. Obviously, I think it's won the championship 5 years in a row. And everybody's working extremely hard, every organization, to compete for what it is that we've accomplished over the last 3 years. And we're going to get everybody's best shot, and we're going to have a target on our back and an asterisk next to our name every time we play somebody. Yeah. But like I told the guys in our first team meeting, who would you rather be?
Yeah.
Would you want to be that team with the asterisk? You want to have the target on your back. You want to be the team that everybody's striving to be and to beat. Mm-hmm. And it's only going to make you better, and it raises your level of competition, and it forces you to compete at your best and the highest level every single day.
Before that season opener on March 5th, you do have an exhibition game this Saturday against the Memphis Lions. Last week's exhibition game against a team, I believe, out of Wichita area, wasn't a ton of competition for you guys. You were still able to, I know, get some good things out of that, but probably should get a better test from Memphis this week, as they are going to be kind of playing a modified TBL schedule this week, so you'll get to see a little bit higher competition. What are you expecting to see from your guys this Saturday, and what do you want to take out of the exhibition games?
Yeah, so just going back to the scrimmage, first and foremost, just really appreciate Coach O'Quinn bringing his team. They competed very hard. They did a lot of really good things. They really allowed us to see some things that we will need to correct and get better at, and kind of force us to really take a strong look at ourselves where we need to get better. And I hope that they got something out of it as well. This weekend we'll have the Memphis Lions. Coach Stepter will bring them in. I expect to see another talented, strong, athletic team that plays extremely hard, that will execute. We just have to be prepared for, actually, in these scrimmages, we're more looking at ourselves than we are at what the opponents are doing. But it should be a real competitive game, and I expect them to be extremely talented. But at the end of the day, we need to take care of ourselves, make sure we see what we need to see, both offense and defensively, things we need to fix, things that are really working well for ourselves, only to improve ourselves and get to where we need to be come March 5th.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That exhibition game against the Memphis Lions will be this Saturday at 3 p.m. inside Fire Lake Arena, and it is free and open to the public, so go ahead and make plans. Come on out, support the Fire, and get kind of a sneak peek at the Fire and what they'll have to offer this season. I'm going to take another break. When I come back, I'll be joined by Fire General Manager David Qualls. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Brett Michaels. Live and Amplified Tour, Friday, May 29th. Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Voted one of the most electrifying and engaging shows on tour. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Brett Michaels, the party starts now.
Are you ready to elevate your business with a new technology partner? Vive provides lightning-fast fiber internet up to 10 gigs, along with powerful technology solutions that enhance your security, productivity, and efficiency. Our dedicated team of business consultants will identify your business needs and recommend solutions to address your challenges. Don't wait. Claim your free technology evaluation today. Visit business.vivebroadband.com and discover why Vive is the premier choice for your business success.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox. I'm now joined by Fire General Manager David Qualls. And David, it's the first Coach's Show of the season, and it's kind of turned into a little bit of like a Potawatomi Fire State of the Union address almost.
That's right. And there's excitement in the air.
There is. It's year number 5 of the Potawatomi Fire, and this team, they've seen unprecedented success. This franchise has 4 years, 3 consecutive championships, and I think over the past 4 years, more wins than any other team in TBL. I mean, simply put, what are some of your goals, and what do you want to accomplish this year?
Keep the train on the tracks.
Okay.
We've got great synergy. Everything after 5 years is a system, and it just keeps rolling, and the fans get bigger every year. The sponsors are getting bigger every year, and just the overall attention is getting larger. You know, our net is wider.
Right. When you say, keep the train on the tracks, it's got to be challenging to keep doing that year after year, especially when you've set such a high bar.
Absolutely. The good thing, though, is that our players that we've had and our veterans that are 3 and 4 year veterans here are bought into the process, not only on the court but off the court. And so that process isn't really hard to say, do you want to come back next year?
Right.
The hardest part is just, obviously they're recruited league wide, but this is home, and that's been good for us. And that's a good portion of what the environment, or quote, the culture that we use here and have here, in not only just here in Fire Lake Arena or CPN, but it's the whole community, whole town of Shawnee and the 30-mile surrounding area.
Yeah, I was talking with Ricky Artis yesterday after he got in, and of course he's played a couple different places in TBL, played all over the world. And one thing that he said to me, he goes, "This feels like my home away from home. It's like my second home." And,
Exactly.
And you talk about the culture that's built, and I think that's one thing that really makes the Fire stand out, and it's why it's also so many other players who haven't been a part of the organization want to come.
Exactly. You know, we do our best to make them a micro celebrity in the town, and someone that the kids look up to and continue to look up to, and that is reciprocal too. I mean, everybody wants to be liked, and our players are well accepted here, and that makes them feel good rather than just going to a new environment and something new we've got to do.
When you look at the roster this year, 4 guys from last year's team back. You also bring back KD Moore, TJ Maston, who are on the first 2 championship teams. So that's 6 guys right there. Those 2 guys plus Chuck Guy, Ricky Artis II, Isaiah Wade, Jay Hedgeman. It gives you that good nucleus for this roster, and then you just kind of filled in the holes around them.
We were very fortunate to fill in the gaps. Paul Harrison retired.
Right.
Got a full-time job. His kids are growing up, and he said, "Listen, Mr. Qualls, I'm going to retire from professional basketball." He's still playing around, but he's training kids. Jakai had their second baby and felt the need to stay close.
Yeah.
And so he's in New Jersey, and he's actually playing on a New Jersey team up there, and we're going to miss him. But we were able to fill in those spots very easy because there's a long list of guys that want to be in the Fire. And if you don't want to be with the Fire, we understand, but it's just easy. The hardest part is picking which one to take their place.
Yeah.
Not saying that any of them are replaceable, because they're not. You know, we're going to miss those guys, and we're going to miss that synergy. But I can tell you, Chris, when I watched this scrimmage this weekend, and when I've watched us play interactive amongst each other this last week, it's the 2 best teams in TBL, and that's our red team and blue team.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody can touch us this year, and I'm just going to be that way about it.
I think one thing too with this team and what I've been able to see from them in practice is that personalities gel really easily. You know, play on the court, that'll come, that'll eventually work together, but you got to get those personalities to gel first, and that's happened very quickly with this team.
They are an insular family, absolutely, and you saw it yesterday when Ricky got here from Saudi Arabia. Everybody was waiting on Ricky because it was a family reunion once again.
Yeah.
You know, they were calling and FaceTiming, "Are you here now?" "Yeah, I'll be over in a minute." And here they started showing up back at the arena. And I appreciate you going to get him at the airport.
Absolutely.
And it was just like homecoming. That's what it is. It's hard to explain until you actually see it.
Yeah, and of course, like we were saying, when those personalities gel off the court, it just makes gelling on the court better. It doesn't mean that they're not going to have some rough days and rough games here or there, but it allows them to, when those rough days happen, bounce back quicker, and hopefully kind of keeps those rough days fewer and far between.
Right, because they're all help each other with their struggles. You know, if you're having an off day, I understand you're having an off day.
Yeah.
And let me do what I can to make up to that. And that's what happens in a game when you're having an off game. That's why you see us have made some real dramatic comebacks and wins, because we just step up and do what they need to do. The coach puts them together, Coach Danhoff puts them together in an environment and in a situation that they'll never fail.
Now, going beyond just the play on the court, anybody who's ever been to a Fire game knows that there's more that happens than just basketball. So talk a little bit about some of the other things outside of basketball that fans can expect when they step through these doors.
Oh, absolutely. A Potawatomi Fire game is a 3-ring circus, and we play basketball between acts.
Okay.
We've got some of the best dancers in the league, and they've been recognized for that. We have other special talent that'll come in from time to time. We have great live anthem singers. The food is almost, semi small-time fair acts. You get a great walking taco. We have soft-serve ice cream. You've got your typical popcorn and stuff, but then you've got just the excitement of the fans and the music. And once you walk into this arena, they call it the Fire Pit, that electricity is just here.
Yeah.
And then the fog starts coming out of the tunnel, and the music gets loud, and here comes the fire.
Yeah, it really is just an all-around experience, and one that's not easily replicated by other teams in TBL. I know some teams have tried, and we haven't seen all the teams, of course, but we definitely have an atmosphere that seems to be unique to the Fire.
Well, and I'll say that, our first year we watched other teams set the bar for us and put on a good program. And I've said that before, one of the first games, that I was able to go watch and see in the environment was Enid, and they had things that went on between timeouts and halftime and merchandise for sale. And we said, okay, this is what we have to do. And we've took it and expanded on it. And I think our league is getting bigger because of the things we do here, because everybody's going, okay,
right.
Yeah, well, I can actually do that at a TBL game. Yes, we can make that work. Yeah, I was afraid to have 4 different kinds of T-shirts, but I see Potawatomi has 4,
right.
so I can at least buy 2, and it's helping them grow. So I think what we're doing is not only helping our business, but it's helping the league as a whole. You hear that rising tide lifts all boats thing, and that's true.
Yeah. Now, fans do have a couple opportunities to see the Fire before the season officially kicks off March 5th. A couple things going on this weekend. What can you tell us about the fish fry on Friday, and then, of course, the exhibition game on Saturday?
Right. Well, the unbranded Chuck Guy fish fry is because it's on Chuck's birthday again.
Okay.
And Chuck literally sets out there, folks, for 2.5 to 3 hours and cooks that catfish himself along with a crew of the Fire guys. But Chuck takes responsibility of that because he's actually a good catfish cook. So Friday night, we have a fish fry from 5 to 7, and you can get go boxes if you can't come. All of the Fire will be here serving for you, and it'd be a good opportunity to meet them and see and pick up this year's shirt before the game. Then on Saturday at 3 p.m., we're playing the Memphis Lions in our exhibition game, which we're a little late on the exhibition game, but we still had to have one. We still needed it for a lot of reasons. And it's our kind of dress rehearsal for our production at the same time. And which we do have the best production in the league year in, year out.
I like to think so.
I do too. And so, that gives us that dry run, and then we hit the bricks running for real March 5th against a brand new team out of San Antonio called the ADS Sentinels. That is a professional organization from top to bottom. Every dealing I've had with them, they're on par to be definitely a dominant force in this league. And when we play in San Antonio, I would encourage our fans to go down there too, because you'll have a great environment and a great game there as well.
One of the good things, too, about the Saturday game against the Memphis Lions, the exhibition, it's free.
Oh, absolutely. I forgot the best part.
The best part, it's free. And you've done that before for the exhibition games. It's just kind of a way to get people in the door and really get a good look at what the Fire will have to offer.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, David, thank you very much. I appreciate it and look forward to catching up with you throughout the season.
Chris, thank you. And thank you for the 5th year now you started to do what you do, because you're the best in the league, hands down.
Well, thank you very much. This has been the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. Again, don't forget about the fish fry this Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. inside Fire Lake Arena. And then, of course, the exhibition game, the free exhibition game on Saturday at 3 p.m. Doors for that will open at 2 here at Fire Lake Arena. That'll do it for us today on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox.